Okay, hear me out. Dark Souls has some of the most horrifying, soul-crushing enemies ever put in a game, and I think I can take them, like in a fight, in real life. No, I'm not insane, maybe just a bit, but stay with me. I'm not saying I'll 1v1 win or choke out a dragon. All I'm saying is I've trained a bit, I've got the main character energy, and some of these guys are actually easy pickings. I'm going to start with my easiest fight on the list and move on to tougher and tougher enemies. My first fight is going to be with the Chaos Bug. I will have my revenge for Solaire. Since I hate bugs, putting that thing on my head and going insane is completely out of the question. I'm going to approach the fight like a player who is trying to save Solaire or farm the bugs. As the description says on the wiki, the Chaos Bug does no damage and dies in one hit. So, this will be a no-diff fight for me and for anyone who just doesn't trip on the bug and smashes their head on the ground, or something stupid like that. Getting to that area where the bug lives is another story and a combination of fantasy and horror, so we won't talk about that for any enemy. Let's just imagine the bug spawns outside and I have some shoes on. I can just jump on it like a Mario and it's done for. Next enemy, the Crystal Lizard. Exactly the same thing as the Chaos Bug, but much more durable. As in any martial arts competition, I will consider the lizard running away as my win. So the fight will look something like this. I jump on its head, doing 1 damage out of its HP. It lives, I win. If for some stupid reason it decides not to live, I will have a cardio workout on my hands. 100 jumping jacks on its head for the win. Probably one of the safest yet most exhausting fights on the list. Also, if you think the lizard is too durable or it doesn't count if it runs away, I can probably pick it up and slam it or turn it on its back before starting to hit it. Either that or I'm pushing it off a building. Easy dub. Let's step it up in difficulty with the next enemy. This one can actually hurt me and there is even a small chance that it can one-shot me, but I can totally avoid that. My third opponent is going to be the Wisp. This floating, exploding skull has exactly a single chance to take me out, then it dies. If I don't have to fight it in a small, crowded space like the catacombs, I can wait for its obvious signal that it's going to explode and then sprint away. That's the whole fight. Before the next enemy, I'd like you to subscribe if you're having fun, before I completely ruin your opinion of me with the next pick. By the way, disclaimer, violence against children is not okay, but... The next enemy is already dead, possibly possessed, and likely older than me, the skeleton baby. I have a few arguments for my win here. Oh no. First of all, I'm fighting only one. No respawning, no multiple ones. Second of all, the wiki states it is knee height. And third of all, it only has 36 HP. Even without any weapon, if a stick does more than double that, I think I can manage to do 36 damage. By jumping with my knees on my chest and delivering a double heel dropkick on its cranium. Now you might argue, but what about the toxic debuff? First of all, I've had worse at clubs, and second of all, a win is a win, even if I die in 5 seconds after and go to hell for dropkicking a baby. I'll take anything when it comes to Dark Souls enemies. Before I move on to my last pick on the list and the hardest fight that I might have a chance to win, I'm going to go through some honorable mentions. The enemies I might beat on technicalities, using tools, or a silly strategy. Even though it sounds completely insane, I might win a match against the Giant Stone Knight, because it is usually found already resting on the floor. If I were to raise my hands up and claim I knocked it out, the judges might believe it. The slime is also incredibly slow, so I might have enough time to start a campfire and let it walk towards it to die by itself. Same for the 3 enemies, which are also weak to fire. If I were to start a fight against a man serpent, I would just pick their base, which is Sense Fortress, as the location, and he would just die from a random trap or boulder. Same for the Painting Guardian. I would just pick the one on the ledge that runs like an idiot and falls off. Another section should be dedicated to enemies I can beat by age diffing them. I could pick a fight to the death, move to another country, and the dogs, rats, mosquitoes, and other creatures from Blighttown would just die of old age or disease before I do. Another one that I can fight would be the Blow Dart Sniper, not because it is realistic, but because I just hate them so much. The fight starts and I shoot them with a 50 cal rifle, because ranged weapons are allowed, and he started it. If not, then he doesn't have any weapons too. So I break his arms, jaws and throw it against the wheel from Blighttown. Case closed. Now for my final fight, I think I can win. I pick the Torch Hollow. Crazy choice, I know, because it can have a torch, then I will have a bucket of water or a bucket of gasoline. So, it will either be a fight against a skinny guy with a stick or just a pile of ash. But honestly, this feels a lot like cheating, so let's try a normal fight. Like most enemies in Dark Souls, the Torch Hollow has a set attack, which I know, then it pauses. I wait for it to spaz out, then take its stick and beat him to death with it, then hit a dance to add insult to injury. The Hollows with no armor in this game are really skinny and a bit uncoordinated, so I have a realistic chance to trip it, then twist and break its arms after a single dodge. Still, this will likely be the scariest fight so far. That was all for today and I hope you had fun with my list. If so, drop a like and subscribe so you can support me and see more from me in the future. Thank you, have an awesome day and see you later.